Hey Tank, how's everything going, man?
Man, everything's good. Real good. How about you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for taking the time out to do the interview. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, first off, you're set to release your new album, This Is How I Feel. Just kind of
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me about the album and, the approach that you decided to take with this album.
The approach was it kind of wasn't like a set direction in the beginning. I had a real definitive thing that I wanted to do as far as like, I had a savior topic and everything was just going to be geared towards this whole superhero theme. And then it's just like the more I just kept recording records, it's like I kind of wanted to just record and make records without, you know, any thought process in mind. Like, well, how do I feel today? Like, what I'm saying? What's on my mind today? Let's just make a record about that. How's this track making me feel? What should I sing about it? Even if it's a subject matter or a track that, you wouldn't normally hear it on, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? And that's basically the approach and the idea of This Is How I Feel. Like, I'm just going to give it to you exactly how I feel it. No, well, I'm not sure if my Urban AC fans are going to like this, or I'm not sure if this is going to help me get to, wherever certain people want me to go. I just want to make an album that says how I feel right now at this particular moment and share it with my fans.
Yeah, definitely. And, I noticed on this album, you have features by T.I. and Busta Rhymes. And you also have a song on there produced by Danger. Some might look at that as a little different for you. So, when you're creating a song, is that in your comfort zone when you're creating songs with like producers like Danger?
Absolutely. I mean, we all know each other, you know what I'm saying, from a producer standpoint. The mutual respect is there, but, a lot of us, like, we've known each other and hung out for, some years now. So, for me, it's natural, you know what I mean, for people who are just listening to the singles that I've put out, you know what I mean, they just see one thing, but if they've really, um, you know, studied any Tank albums, you know what I'm saying, like even if you see the last Now or Never album, like we had Drake feature on there, we had Chris Brown feature on there, and then, we did the remix with Trey and Chris, you know what I mean, like, so the things are there, it's just a matter of us, taking those opportunities now that we have now with the T.I. and the Busta and the Chris Brown and actually making them a focal point so that people understand the associations.
Yeah, definitely. And you recently released a remix of Compliments, and you put Ti on the song. You also mentioned that you're gonna release it as a single. So, what made you decide to release Compliments again as a single?
You know what? It was debated on whether it should be the first single, so it was already a single record for us. But Next Breath was really a record that we felt like would secure the real Tank fans. You know what I mean? And we wanted to grab them off the top and say, "Hey, Tank is back. Tank is, you know what I mean? This is where it is. This is what you know and love." And then Compliments would kind of embody that same idea, but a little differently with the tempo, you know what I mean, and with the T.I. verse, you know what I mean, and my artist Chris Stevens, she's on there giving the girl's point of view of how she feels about herself. So we just kind of did the same thing, just a little bit different, something that'll appeal more to the DJs and, more to the college kids and some of the high school kids as well. So we figured, we break the ice with Next Breath, and then we come right back with this thing right here, and it's doing so well for us already.
Yeah, definitely. And I know on Twitter a couple of days ago, Genuine and Tyrese were tweeting about a possible, TGT collaboration. Can you kind of speak on that and if it's gonna happen?
It's looking good. I can say that. Like I said, we're all excited about, I think we're more or less just excited about R&B and making something phenomenal happen. You know what I mean? I think individually we all hold our own and we all do great things. And I think that us coming together would just be an event that I think R&B needs. You know what I mean? So looks good. Looks good.
Okay, cool. And do you have any plans for a tour, to go with that album that you have coming out?
Well, I'm going to do some, actually, I take that back. We got some things lined up, tour date wise. We were actually letting the album drop and letting some more heat pick up. We're going to send this Compliments out at the end of the month to get it going. We're actually shooting a video for it this Friday, down in ATL. So, all of this, the heat from the records and people now starting to see the track listing and all that stuff is, getting the promoters and all of these people interested in, actually putting a tank run together. So I have some dates with some other artists, like I'm doing a bunch of Frankie Beverly and Mays dates and stuff like that. And so, our goal is, towards the end of the summer, maybe middle, that we'll be doing a full tank run.
Okay, cool. And I want to take it back to earlier in your career. I know you were a part of the Underdogs Camp. Talk to me about that whole experience and how that era helped you, become the artist, writer, and producer that you are today.
It was good for a bunch of producers and writers with that level of talent um, and music understanding to just be together in one place. You know what I mean? Making music, compromising. You know what I mean? Musically, lyrically, melody-wise, the whole nine. And it was good because it was, of course, a one-stop shop, and who didn't want to work with Tank or Damon Harvey or Eric Dawkins or Tony Dixon or Steve, you know what I mean? These were all names that people were familiar with, so it was easy for people to come to the building and in some way, shape, or form find exactly what they needed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was really the blessing in it. You know what I mean? And moving on past that, it just kind of, for me, helped me understand the structure of putting together, producers and writers and really making a cohesion so that everybody, feels comfortable with each other and feels comfortable just making great music, with no egos involved.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the artists I know you worked with during the Underdogs era is Luke James. When he was a part of Luke and Q, and now he's out doing a solo thing. So, what do you think his potential is? Moving forward.
Luke's potential is really unlimited, man. Luke actually, that's like my young boy for real. Like Luke actually lived with me. You know what I mean? So, it's one of those things where when I see him now, I see him actually getting his shine. You know what I mean? On his own, because when he used to sing backgrounds for me, I'd let him come to the front of the stage and just tear the stage up. You know what I mean? Because I really wanted people to see him and understand what he was and what he was about. And it's paid off. You know what I mean? And so now people are starting to get it and get it in a major way. So he's gonna do just fine.
Okay, cool. And of course, you're also writing for different artists. Who are you currently working with right now?
I'm just finishing this album, putting the finishing touches on it. It's been all about Tank for Tank, and we got some Kelly Rowland coming up that was the first person I was able to actually make some other music for, and then focusing on my first artist, Chris Stevens, who's actually on the Compliments record, and that's going to be like a big debut for her, and we're going to start pushing her situation as well.
Okay, cool. And not too long ago, we featured a song actually by Luke and Q called "Your Body." So, can you just kind of talk to me about how that song came about?
We was actually working on an album. I think that's when they were signed to J Records, and so we were just I was trying to put together like a good R&B moment, like something that you felt when you heard Guy or when you heard Keith Sweat. You know what I mean? Back in those days, and that's kind of the energy that I put into that record to create that record, and eventually me and Ray Lavender covered the record as well. Because it never came out with them, and then the record just never materialized, and then all of a sudden it just showed up online, and people just started responding to it. You know what I mean? So, like, who's is better, Tank and Ray Lavender or Luke and Q? You know what I mean? So, it's been cool just to watch, people's reactions to both records.
Yeah, definitely. And your first album came out in 2001. It's now 2012, and you're pretty much on top of R&B. And along with that, you've written some huge songs for different artists. Do you feel like you've finally made it?
No, not even close. I'm still. The good thing about my career is that it's always been a progression. You know what I mean? I've always climbed and climbed and climbed. You know what I mean? No matter how slow or how people feel. Like a lot of people feel like underrated and all the good things, which is why I wrote the record. And but for me, it's like I'm still climbing. Like it's still people that are just realizing that I'm producing and writing all these records, and people that are just realizing that I am the guy that's saying maybe I deserve, and please don't go. You know what I mean? So now people are starting to connect the dots, and and it almost feels like it's new, like it's a new career. Like, you know, that once I did the new deal with Atlantic, it felt like I was a new artist all over again. You know what I mean? So now I'm not even close to where I want to be. And I don't know. You know, I'm very I'm happy, but I'm not comfortable or satisfied by no means. So I got a lot to do.
Yeah, definitely. And when it's all said and done, what do you want Tank's legacy to be in this industry?
Um, I just want to be known as, one of the hardest working uh, individuals ever to do it.
Okay, that's very cool.
Period.
And that's all that I had for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
I think you got everything. Now and never. I mean, I'm about to say now and never. This is how I feel May 8th. We off and running.